going, half hour or so. If you want to join, by all means, grab your mat. If you have a foam roller, grab one of those. And we're going to get started. So actually, let's start cross-legged. And we are just going to start with hands on our knees and just taking a few big deep breaths. Start to bring your fingertips up to your shoulders and bring your elbows in circles down by your sides. Go as slow as you want to. Start to stretch up higher around the back until the elbows can come to touch out in front. And then switch directions. Start to bring the fingertips down, bring the feet together, massage the feet out a little bit maybe. And then reach the hands all the way forward. You can keep the spine straight at first, and then eventually everything can start to relax down, including the head. One more big breath here. Start to bring your attention to your breath and any areas of tightness in the body where you might need to send some extra breath today. Start to roll the spine back up. We'll take the left foot out. Right foot can come in. We'll bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Reach the right hand up over top and look towards the right fingertips. And you can rotate open as much as feels good. Rotate the chest toward the ceiling. You can start to deepen on your exhales, feeling like there's a big stretch in the right side of the body. And then use your core to lift back up. We'll bring the right hand just back behind us. Reach the left fingertips up and over and come up onto the right knee. Stretching all the way up and out through the left side of the body. One more breath here, and then we'll start to come back down. Bring the left foot back in, and take the right foot out. Right hand can come to the inside. The left fingertips will come up overhead and rotate the chest open just a little. Left hand comes down, use the core through your movements. Left hand come down beside you, reach the right hand up overhead and lift up onto the left knee. come back down. This time we'll take the left foot out. So both feet are out, getting a stretch at the adductors. Reach the fingertips forward again. Straight spine at first, and then everything can start to round out and come down. If you're joining in, we're just doing a slow, short stretch. It's the end of the day. Don't have tons of energy at this point, so we're just moving slowly. Bring the feet back in, we'll cross the ankles and come up into tabletop. This is where I wanted to use a foam roller if you have one. And we're going to bring the knees a little bit farther apart, kind of like you're heading into child's pose. I'm going to bring my right hand to the roller and just use it to roll open. My chest is opening up to the left, and I'm getting a big stretch in the right lat. So just roll back and forth like that. Or, if you don't have a foam roller, you can just place your right hand directly underneath your chest and inhale the left arm all the way up. So still getting the T-spine twisting. So whichever version you're doing, we'll start to move to the other side. And either pushing against the roller, stretching it out, the left lat now, or bringing the left hand down and inhaling the right arm all the way up. Start to come back into neutral, into our tabletop position, and move through a couple cat-cows. So hands are underneath the shoulders, and on the inhale, let the belly come down and the gaze come up. And exhale your way through neutral, push the spine up to the ceiling. 2 more times like that. From here, just start to send the hips back behind you, reach the fingertips out in front, bring the forehead down for child's pose. Start to bring your hands all the way over to the left side of your mat, bring the forehead back down. So if you weren't getting that lat stretch before, if you didn't have a foam roller, this is the lat stretch for you now. Stretching out of the right side of the body. Breathing into that space. And then crawl your hands through center all the way over to the right side. Forehead comes back down. Bring the hands back into center. Lift up into your tabletop. Tuck the toes under and just push back from the hands. Stretch out the feet. Shift back into our tabletop. We'll get really stable here on on the right side, in both hands, but then on the right knee, we're gonna do some hip cars. So flex the left foot, take it up, back behind you. Bring the left knee out to the side, and then up and back down. So we're making big, slow circles with the left knee. Trying to keep the hips as steady as you can. So do a few of those in one direction, and then switch the direction that your knee is going. We'll do a few in the other. Bring that left knee back down beside the right. Flex the right foot and pick it up behind you. Right knee out to the side, up by your shoulder and in. 2 more times like that in this direction. Get some cracking or some popping. And then switch directions. Make it slower than you want to go. Right knee comes back down beside the left. Tuck the toes under. Just pick up the knees 1 inch. Hold here. If you want to work on some shoulder stability in this pose, you can just go in and out of scap push-ups. Or hold strong here. Then we'll start to lift the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal at the feet. And then start to tiptoe to the top of your mat, fold all the way forward. Let the head be really heavy. Notice where your weight is in your feet. If there's more weight in one foot than the other, more weight in your heels than the balls of your feet or your toes. And just take note. Start to bring the backs of the hands to the mat and bring your hands underneath your feet. And then start to grip your toes into the palms of your hands, where your palm meets your wrist. Give yourself a little hand massage with your toes. It's like a good bang for your buck with this one because you're working on some toe dexterity. Some spacing of the toes, and you'll also get a little hand massage. Start to bring the hands out, back in our forward fold. And then on your next inhale, roll the spine slowly, slowly up to standing. Take a big exhale when you get to the top. And let's just bring our feet wide on our mat, a little bit wide. We're just gonna start to rotate up on our toes. We'll bring our arms around in a circle. Number one, just because it feels good to move like this and be a little loosey-goosey, but it'll also turn into a little bit of core. The next time we come over to our left, we'll hold the position so you'll kind of look like you're a dancer. And the core activation is what you'll start to feel. So, coming over to my left right now, and I'm going to hold. And really start to feel it in your core as you hold your arms up. Another big breath here. And then let's move again. Next time we come over to the right, we'll do the same thing. And hold. Big breath. And come back to movement. I love doing this. We're going to do this one more time each side because I love it so much. Next time we go to the left, we'll hold. Full breath cycle, and then come back to swaying back and forth. And the next time we go to the right, we'll hold. Full breath. And release. Start to slowly come back into stillness. We'll come back to the top of the mat. Heel toe the feet a little bit wider than normal. And on our inhale, we'll reach the hands up overhead and stretch, come up onto your tippy toes. And on the exhale, we'll fold all the way forward, send the hips back, and just reach forward with your hands. This is a way that you can start to release the low back. If you're doing a lot of sitting, remember to let the head be heavy. Full breath here. And we'll start to hinge at the hips, make our way back up to standing on the inhale. Exhale at the top. And inhale, bring the hands up overhead, up on the tiptoes, stretch. Exhale, fold forward, come all the way down, reach the hands out in front. On your next inhale, start to move your way back up to stand. Big breath out at the top. Inhale, hands overhead. One more time. Stretch it up. And exhale. Fold, hands come out. This one you can stay the way we were before. You can bring your hands a little bit closer in and just move the hips back and forth a little bit if that feels good. Back to stillness, and we'll make our way back up to standing on the inhale. Heel toe the feet in a little bit closer. Exhale at the top. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forward. On your inhale, bring your hands to your shins, make a flat spine. And on the exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Take the left foot all the way back behind you, bring the knee down. We'll come up for a second into a low lunge. And then bring the hands down to frame the foot. Shift the hips back until the front toes come up off the mat. Get into that right hamstring a little bit. Rock forward again. Bring the left hand just a little bit farther out to the side. Right hand can come to the right knee and just help that knee to open. And you can use that hand on the knee as leverage to try and rotate the chest up toward the ceiling. Back into center. Bring the hands back in, tuck the back toes so you can pick up the left knee. Right foot goes back beside the left. Hold plank for just a second. And then bring the knees down, lower all the way down to the front of your body. Bring the fingertips out in front of you, pull through the finger pads, loop the shoulders up, back, and down for Cobra on the inhale. And exhale, release. Inhale back up, and this time bring the left shoulder down slightly, look up over the right. And release. Last time, inhale up, bring the right shoulder down a bit, look over the left. And release that back down. You can make a little pillow with your hands. And just take a few deep breaths here. Start to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Push up, we'll go through tabletop into our downward dog. Take 2 big breaths here. Try to make downward dog feel like a resting pose. And then start to tiptoe the feet to the top of your mat between your hands, fold forward. Inhale, roll the spine up to standing. And we'll exhale at the top. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Hands will come to the shins on the next inhale. Flat spine. And then bring the hands to the mat on the exhale. Take the right foot to the back of the mat, bring the knee down. Come up into low lunge. For 1 breath. And then start to bring the hands to frame the foot. Rock back until your left toes come up off the mat. Start to shift forward again. Right hand comes out slightly to the side. Left hand comes to the left knee. And we'll use that as some leverage to open up the chest. One more breath here. We'll come back into neutral. Hands frame the left foot. Pick up the back knee. Take the left foot back beside the right. Hold your plank for just a second, and then bring the knees down. Lower down to the front of the body. This time we'll bring the hands all the way out in front. The forehead will come down. And we're going to do a snow angel type thing. So we're going to lift the hands up, bring them all the way back behind you to your lower back, and back up overhead. Trying to keep the hands as high as you can the whole time. 2 more times like this. And the next time your hands are forward, just shuffle them back under your forehead. Take a breath. Bring the hands under your shoulders. Push up through tabletop, back into our down dog. 2 breaths here. Make it feel like rest. walk the feet to the top of the mat and fold forward. And from here, we'll just bring the fingertips slightly out in front. Bring as much weight as you can into the right foot, and then float the left foot up back behind you, coming into standing splits. If you want to play with some balance, you can try floating your fingertips off the mat, or you can come all the way into half moon if you want to play, or if you have a foam roller that you can put, or a block or something, or a stack of books, right underneath your hand. But staying in standing splits is also great. Bring the left foot back down beside the right. Wiggle the legs a little bit, come up to standing. Notice the difference that you feel in weight distribution in your feet. Bring the hands overhead again on the inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Bring the fingertips slightly out in front and more weight into the left foot. Float the right foot back behind you, standing splits, other side. And you can float the fingertips if or whenever you want to. Right foot can come back down beside the left. Wiggle the legs up as you come back to stand. And just notice how you feel. Maybe close down the eyes. See where your weight is in your feet. Start to heel toe the feet out to the side. We'll reach our hands all the way forward again, coming into that squat that we were doing before. And you can stay here for a while if you want to, or you can start to transition from here, bringing your hands back behind you until you can make your way to seated. Take a breath once you get into your seat, and we'll bring the left leg all the way underneath and the right leg on top. This is called cow face legs or shoelace legs. And if it feels good to have your knees in alignment like this, you can. I can't really get there, but that's okay. This is where I feel it. And then just lean forward over your shoelaced legs. And if your right leg's on top, typically people will feel this somewhere in and around their right glute. It's almost like a similar sensation to if you were doing pigeon. One more breath here. And then you can start to come up into neutral. Lean your weight over onto your left side. And we'll play a little bit with bringing the right foot back behind you. And then out in front. Getting a little bit more into that right hip. Just bringing the right foot in front and back behind. One more time. the next time your right foot's out in front, we'll untangle our legs, bring the right foot underneath, and the left leg on top. And lean forward over your legs. Start to come back up into neutral, bring the weight to the right side, take the left foot out in front, and then we'll bring it back behind us a few times like this. Might get a few more cracks and pops out of the left hip. One more time. And the next time the left foot's forward, bring both feet to the mat, straighten out the legs, tent our fingertips back behind us, roll the shoulders back, push the chest open and forward. Start to come out of that, round the back forward, reach for the feet or the shins. Let the head be heavy in this one too. And then start to come back into neutral. Bring the feet up a little. Shift the bum forward until you can make your way all the way to your back. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And bring the arms, cactus the arms by your sides or all the way out into a T. And then just let the knees come all the way over to the left. Just coming into a gentle twist. You can shift hips over if that feels better. Notice where you feel the tension, or if things are starting to release, maybe your stomach's starting to gurgle. Mine's gurgling pretty loud. And we can start to shift back towards neutral, bring the knees back into the chest. Squeeze them in and then let them come all the way over to the right. Hands come back down where they were before. And just breathe into whatever space is opening up. Shift the hips over again. Knees come back up into the chest one more time. One last squeeze. And then we'll take the legs out long. Coming into our Shavasana. That's what we're all here for. You can give yourself one more big stretch if you want. Bring the arms overhead, point the toes. And then bring the hands down by your sides or onto your belly if you want to remind yourself to breathe a little deeper. And then we'll just settle into our resting pose. Start to bring your hands to your belly if they're not already there. And take one more deep breath. Start to wiggle the feet up closer. Until you can roll over to one side and push up to seated. Socks back on because my feet are right away cold again. Thanks for practicing with me. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And sleep tight, everybody. I feel like going to bed right now, but it's probably only like 7. Is that allowed? Yeah, I think so.